Now, if you're someone that struggles to remember to drink enough water, you have those days. Some days it's good, some days it's not so good. This is something you're going to want to keep watching. So guys often come to me and they say to me, Chris, I just don't drink enough. I start really well and then I just forget, and then it gets to about 5 o'clock and I realise I've hardly drank anything. I've just been drinking tea, coffee, that sort of thing. So here are 3 really easy ways to improve your water consumption without even having to think about it. So firstly, why do we want to up our water consumption? Well, everyone's a bit different. The recommendations are generally sort of 2 to 3 litres a day. Obviously that changes depending on your activity, your weight, how hot it is. There's so many factors to this, but ultimately you want to be drinking plenty of water. Obviously it helps our bodies function. We get rid of waste products, our skin improves, but it just makes you feel better in yourself. We can also often confuse thirst with hunger. So you may be thirsty and you confuse that with hunger, so then you're taking on excess calories that your body doesn't really need, and all it really wants is some moisture. So it's good to drink plenty of water. So I'm not going to go into the science of all behind it. Let's just jump into the tips. So tip number 1, or number 2 as it says on the screen, water bottle. Really simple, really obvious, but having a water bottle there, something like these are available on like Amazon and places like that. So on the left, you've got a bottle there with just different times on it. And again, real simple, easy one. Obviously, take that to work with you, have that on the desk with you, take that in the car with you. It should fit in the door pocket. There's loads of sort of, it's really going to help push things forward. Now, you can get the ones like on the right. These are quite fancy. So this links up to an app. The base of the bottle lights up. So all sorts of fancy things that remind you to drink. But it's that visual reminder of having something there with you. That's how these bottles work. But you get down that bottle's say 750 ml, something like that. Couple of those, that's 1.5 litres. So if you can get through 2 of those in a day, that's a pretty good start. But when we start to add on the other tips in the video, you can get up to that 2 to 3 litres mark quite easily. So they're available on Amazon, so definitely recommend getting some of those. Even just a bottle from your local shop, and just a disposable bottle that you might refill or something, anything will do. Having it with you, you're more likely to supplement. If you don't have the water there, you don't have a choice, or you're just going to forget. It's not going to happen. Number 2 would be reminders. So I use Google Calendar. You may use Apple. You may have different apps on your phone that can give you reminders. But with Google Calendar, you can set reminders that only you can see. So even if it is a shared calendar, you can set tasks that only you can see. And you can set recurring tasks. So it could be a case of you just set yourself some tasks in the calendar. So if you are one of those people that does live off your calendar and that has all your different commitments and meetings in, stick a few tasks in there to remind you to have a drink. It sounds simple. And at some point, it might be just a bit like the wallpaper. You might not notice it, but it may be enough just to kickstart things and build up that habit of drinking a little bit more. You can get apps like this one as well. I don't personally know that one very well, but there's different reminder apps out there. There's one specific to water as well, so you can get pings of notifications. But essentially, it's all the same. You're going to get a reminder at set intervals, and it's going to remind you to have a drink. That won't work forever, but it's just a way of shoehorning things in and just reminding you to do it, and hopefully then you can build that behaviour. So obviously combine that with a bottle, that's a good start. And then we have habit stacking. So habit stacking is essentially looking at your current habits, your routines, what you do now, and then bolting on some other things to it. So in this case, bolting on some water. So for anyone that has done any work with me, you'll know week 1, one of my principles is waking up and rehydrating with a glass of water rather than a tea and a coffee. So simple habit stack. If you are someone that wakes up and the first thing you do is flick on the kettle, turn on the coffee machine, whatever you do, and that's the drink of the day, stick a glass next to it, stick a pint glass there. And while the kettle is boiling or while the coffee is brewing, get your pint of water down you. So you rehydrate on the water and then you can enjoy your hot drink. By doing that, you've automatically got that extra pint of water in your 600 and whatever mil it is, that equates to a pint. But it's a real simple, it's one that all my clients enjoy. They all seem to do it. It's easy, it's obvious. Do that and then combine that with 2 of your timer bottles with your reminders, and you're already at your 2 litre mark. It's a real easy win. So just to sort of summarize, those are the sort of things I would be looking at. Get yourself a bottle. Doesn't have to be fancy, doesn't have to be one of the 30-40 quid app bottles. It can be something really simple with time printed down it, or it could just be something from your local shop. But having it there, carrying it around with you, it's a visual reminder. Set your reminders. So if you are struggling, use the technology at your disposal. Think about what you already use, what your habits are. If you've got your phone in your hand all the time, the apps may work. If you live your life off a calendar, that may work better for you. So think what works for you. Set some recurring reminders. But habit stack, think about it. Think about when you do these things. Think about when it's easy for you to get a drink. A pint first thing, having your timer bottle, and I don't know, just having a little bit more around lunchtime. Maybe just a small glass at lunch as well. 2.5 litres, easy. So that's what I would do if I was looking to improve my water consumption and make it sort of effortless. These are 3 real easy tips to get you there.